Hello duelists, I am back with a big smile for another video around Orcust. Before I hop in, I need to do these shameless plugs a little more often. If you do enjoy these videos, consider subscribing to the channel. It really kind of supports what I do here. And I found the interesting stat the other day that about 95% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So, like I said, it is very helpful to me if you would consider, but I won't spend any more time on that. What I'm here to talk about today is following up the ban list announcement that was made last week. I did a video to kind of talk about the impact and my gut reaction to the cards that were hitting the ban list that were around Orcust were not really strong enough. They didn't target Orcust cards, it was just other cards played in Orcust decks. But really, you're trying to get an Orcust monster out and another monster so you can link someone into Galatea and so on. There are many ways to do that. Scrap Recycler is very powerful, but it's not the only powerful card here. And I'm on Duel Links Meta right now, and something interesting is standing out to me. The top player committee, the players that are doing best in the competitive circuit, come together and gave some commentary around it, and they seem to be on the same page. A couple of quotes here, I'm not going to read them all, but just to kind of summarize. Okay, so the first one here, the Mermaid nerf hurts, but it's not going to hit it's not a hit that's going to kill all regular Orcust or anything like that, because you still have Scrap Recycler, and you do lose access to the limited 3s, but there's a lot of Orcust decks that don't even play the limited 3s. The next one here, Mermaid ban affects all versions. The hit was not as impactful for pure Orcust versions as they simply switch to the orchestrated Babel version and new back row instead of the limited 3s. Same idea here. And with the third one, Orcust will still be playable at a competitive level as pure version, or as an Endred hybrid splashed into other decks like Gandora, Odd Eyes, or new options players might come up with. It could be demoted to T2, oh no, Tier 2, in the short term, but might return to Tier 1 as builds are solved and optimized. I don't really get it. I do get it, but I don't get it, where this is a deck people are really complaining about. I know that, the really toxic build around kind of the Odd Eyes and Orcust together is what's hurting here. You can still kind of play the stuff here, but with people voicing their concerns, not having fun right now with a lot of this, I think this was just too soft. My prediction will be kind of we see what happened with Mech Knights, is at first you ban a couple cards that are impactful, and then you realize it was still not enough, and you just put the nail in the coffin and finish it off there. But this is, confirming and emphasizing everything that I was thinking there and bringing it to life. So I'll go ahead and just show an example of how you can still play an Orcust deck. There's been players in tournaments already that are requiring the new ban list to have decks that comply with that. And the Lightsworn version is one that we can see. So I'm going to show that in just a second here. Now up on screen, we're going to see a version that could be played. Now I'll just walk through it quickly. We're going to have 3 Triforce. I mean, I showed the importance of these cards in a couple of my videos. Absolutely incredible for the meta right now. You're going to want to have more Orcust monsters because you're going to be looking to shoot them into the graveyard. So we have 3 Harp Horrors when a lot of decks were previously only playing 1. We're going to have 2 Raidens in here. I mean, you could probably play a third. This isn't to say this is the only build to play. Your Recyclers are going to be your limited 3s. And as you see, there's no other limited 3s in here. We have 2 Nightmares, we have 1 Simple Skeleton, 1 World Wand, and Brass Bombard. Typically wasn't playing Brass before, but again, we want to have a few more monsters in here, so that's going to work. We're going to add our Babel back in. I hadn't been playing it, but versions that were playing it were really good. A lot of the stuff around that was preference. A couple of books here. And really important, Charge of the Light Brigade. We're sending 3 cards from the top of the deck to the graveyard. One more way to get cards to the graveyard. And the same thing with Raiden here. During the main phase, you can send 2 cards to the graveyard from the top of the deck. So you're just kind of hoping between either Scrap Recycler, Raiden, Charge of the Light Brigade, Orchestrated Return, anything like that, you can get Orcust monsters to the graveyard and just pick up where you left off previously with Orcust. The skill here is Life Point Boost. Guardian Call could still probably work. This is a little more preventative with your life points, where Guardian Call is playing a deck where you're essentially slashing them in half with a lot of different plays there. This is at 23 cards. I mean, you could play this up to like 25 or 26. You just don't. This is much more focused on like having to mill cards to the graveyard. So the larger you build up the deck, the lower the probability of milling an Orcust monster that you're going to want to activate an effective to get something on the field. Would be cautious on that. I don't know if I'll play this. I feel like I've done enough playing of Orcust. Um, maybe if it at time of like a KC Cup, then I'll consider it. But I thought that would get hit harder. People are still gonna figure out how to play this stuff, and it's gonna be a big deal. So let me know your thoughts below. Not only did I suspect it wouldn't be hard enough, but the ban that is, but we're also already seeing ways that players are getting around it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts below. But wanted to kind of pass this on, and unfortunately, if you are someone that hates Orcust, you're gonna have to wait another month to just see it totally gone.